Hey everybody, welcome. So in this video, I'm going to go through the new txtSchedules ERC20 token and the associated dApp that is supporting the txtSchedules business model. So now if you are watching this video, you are either a developer who is working on our application, or you are a Tritanium coin holder who is going to be hopefully converting your TTNZ coin into the txtSchedules ERC20 token. So a little bit about this video. This video is a very brief introduction. A lot of it is just to get feedback from the coin holders to make sure that we are developing this application with the right structure and strategy, to make sure that everybody who is a TTNZ coin holder understands how the swap process is going to work, how the proof of stake is going to be replacing mining, and how everything is going to go forward. Now, one of the most important things in this video is I'm going to be going through what the business model is for txtSchedules and the background of it and why it fits so well inside of an ERC20 token that we can then stake and then we can swap on Uniswap. So a little bit of background. First of all, TTNZ was originally built for traceability. Now, traceability did not work well on Ethereum for a couple of reasons, one of which is the performance. Ethereum just is not a fast platform. So it was really hard for us to track the amount of data that you need to track in traceability using Ethereum. The other thing with Ethereum is that the gas fees were too high for these low value transactions. So if you're going to do traceability, you're going to be adding transactions to the blockchain every time something moves. A truck moves from one location to another, or onions become guacamole, or things like that. So packaging and what you're working on with traceability really doesn't fit well into the Ethereum platform with its high gas fees and its low performance. But the txtSchedules business model, which is an application that we developed back in 2013 and has been a running business of ours ever since 2013, fits a lot better in the business model for Ethereum. There's also reasons why, from a business standpoint, it makes sense to turn this into a distributed dApp application and get it out of a centralized database. Now, one thing that makes this valuable is that there's less data that we track inside of txtSchedules than we do in traceability. And performance really is not an issue with the txtSchedules application. And as I go through the application, you'll see why performance really isn't that big of an issue. Things don't have to post sub-second. And then the other thing is that the transactions are much higher value transactions, where with traceability, the value of a transaction is really less than a Satoshi. With txtSchedules, every transaction is actually worth a couple dollars to post on the blockchain. So as we move forward, the initial supply of the txtSchedules token is going to be 100% converted from the TTNZ coin. So there is the initial supply. The only way you can get this token, the only way is to convert existing TTNZ coin through the dApp that we're creating. And now things like what the exchange rate's going to be, what the initial value of the token is going to be, none of that is fleshed out yet. But right now, your initial supply is going to come from existing TTNZ coin holders converting the TTNZ coin into txtSchedules. Now, going forward, new tokens are going to be added as part of proof of stake. Now, getting new tokens through proof of stake is done in two different ways. One, they're going to be minted as tokens for the stakeholders, like any yield farming application would do. So you're going to earn interest by staking on the platform. And then through gas fees paid by the business. Now, in this case, gas fees are going to be paid through people using the txtSchedules app. Now, when we talk about the txtSchedules app, it's kind of a funny name, but the reason it's got its name, it goes all the way back to 2013 when back in 2013, might as well have been 1913 when it comes to the technologies that were supporting in-store product demos. So the properties that we have, or the platforms that we have, one is called grocery store demos, another is called beverage demos, and brand ambassador network. So the business behind txtSchedules is managing in-store product demos. So again, we originally launched this in 2013, and the application has been growing ever since 2013. When, just as a as some scale, we canceled over 1,000 demos in one day when the pandemic hit and things started shutting down in March. Well, now the demo business is coming back. Even though the pandemic hasn't really gone away, the demo business is coming back because it is such a critical part of operating a grocery store and operating a liquor store. So let me give you a little bit of overview of the business. And I'm going to do this by taking a video that I've got. I will post the link to the video in the comments of this video, which is a video that we made 3 years ago that was for our clients of txtSchedule that shows how the application works from the different perspective of the different users. So I'm going to cut that video up and I'm going to include pieces of that video in here so that we can explain how the DAP and how the ERC20 token fits well into the business. Now, if I get started though with the video, I'm going to let's talk a little bit about the business that's supported by txtSchedules. So if you go into any grocery store in the United States on the weekend, or any of the big box stores like Sam's Club or Costco, you're going to see booths set up throughout the store where they're giving away product. And they're giving away free samples. Now, the stores love this because people go and they grocery shop and they try out all these different products, and it brings people into the stores. So if you ask most people about the demos that are going on in the stores, they think it's just to get them in on the weekend because you got in, you eat a bunch of free samples, and you end up spending way more money at the grocery store than you were intending to spend. But that's not really why these demos are happening. So let's, for instance, I buy a certain brand of cheese. Now when I go into the store to buy cheese and I buy Kraft cheese, I'm not going to try another brand of cheese. There's no chance of me picking up a different type of cheese because I know the cheese that I like. To get me to switch to another kind of cheese, though, if I walk up to one of these demo tables and somebody hands me, let's say, a different brand of cheese, and I try it and I like it and I buy it, that is how you've overcome brand loyalty. That's how I now have tried a new kind of cheese, and maybe now every time I go into the store, I don't buy Kraft cheese, I buy a different kind of cheese. So that's the one thing that it does, is people won't switch brands or try new brands unless they get an opportunity to try them in the store. The other thing is, when a new brand is launched, the store wants to know that that brand is going to sell. So what they do is they require the brand to do a certain number of in-store product demos to test to see if the brand sells. So let's say I'm demoing guacamole. What would happen is I would do a demo of the guacamole, and I would pass out the guacamole, and I would have a very large inventory of the guacamole with me. And then at the end of the day, they count the number of packages of guacamole I sold. So if I do a demo and nobody buys the guacamole, that means nobody likes the guacamole, so they won't carry it. So in-store demos are really important because they bring customers into the store, they overcome brand loyalty by getting you to try a new brand, and they tell the stores what brands work, what brands sell, and what brands don't sell. So this whole concept of in-store product marketing is a multi-billion-dollar business. Now, one of the other things you don't notice when you see that person who's handing out the guacamole is they don't work for the grocery store, and they don't work for the brand. They're an independent brand ambassador. And what that means is our application, which is part of we call the Brand Ambassador Network, is sort of like Uber for brand ambassadors. So a lot of the people who we see doing demos are retired people who just need to make a little extra money on the weekend. We have a lot of school teachers who, they work, they don't get paid all that much, so on the weekend they work in a Sam's Club, or they work in a Costco, or they work in a grocery store. It's an easy way, without getting another full-time job, to take up a part-time gig, part of the gig economy, and to give out samples in the store. So our platform is sort of like, as far as the brand ambassador is concerned, is like Uber for the brand ambassador. For the brand, it's a whole big deal. And as we go through the different sections of the application, you'll see why it makes perfect sense to put this on a DAP, and it also makes sense to have it as a distributed application powered by the txtSchedules token, and it provides so much value to the customer. We already know that this is a product that sells. So let me get started with the first part of the video from 2017.
Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to introduce txtSchedules. txtSchedules is a fully integrated scheduling, communications, and management system focused on in-store brand marketing and product demos. txtSchedules is a tool that lets everyone involved work together to produce the best results. From the time a brand marketing executive decides they want to do in-store product demos to the time the last demo is completed, txtSchedules manages the process and communications every step of the way.
As a product marketing executive, I have to make the best use of my product demo budget and manage my marketing campaign across the country. With over 20,000 stores to demo my brand, I hire independent marketing companies in each target area to demo my product. I use txtSchedules to select marketing companies in each area and create projects for each company. Each project is made up of one or more events I want the marketing company to perform. Once I've created the projects with my requirement, I use txtSchedules to track their progress and analyze the results. The txtSchedules executive dashboard and events maps lets me stay in touch with what's going on in my marketing campaign. After I create my campaign in txtSchedules, select my marketing companies, and create projects, I send the project to the marketing companies using txtSchedules, and things start rolling.
Okay, so that person would be considered the brand. Now, the brand creates what's called a campaign. So let's say I'm starting a new guacamole line and I want to get it distributed to as many grocery stores as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a marketing campaign. So let's say I have $100,000 and I want to use that to do 500 demos across the country. Now, smaller brands, and most brands for that matter, don't have their own demo marketing companies in each area. So what they'll do is they'll start a campaign. So again, it's $100,000 for 500 demos, and then they will hire independent brand marketing companies to manage the demos across the country. So let's say I've got $100,000 and I want to do demos in 5 cities. So that's when I create what's called a project. So I would hire a independent demo marketing company. Let's say I have one in Chicago, LA, New York, Denver, Miami, and they're going to manage their part of the business for me. So inside of the DAP, what we do is we create an object called a campaign. And that campaign is basically the container for all of the projects and all of the events that are done as part of this marketing campaign for the brand. Okay, so let's go on to the next person. So let's say I've got my 5 projects I want to do. I go on to txtSchedules. I find a brand marketing company, and let's say I hire SOS Brand Marketing from Chicago, since they're the ones to hire, and go on to the next step.
As the operator of an independent marketing company, it's my responsibility to choose the right locations for product demos, hire the brand ambassadors, coordinate the events, and make sure everything goes off without a hitch. When I receive the project, either delivered through the txtSchedules system or outside the system where I enter it myself, I start by using txtSchedules to select potential event locations. I can search for the stores on the map, keep a list of my favorite locations, and then invite stores to offer demos. The txtSchedules project dashboard helps me keep track of all my projects and coordinates finding the right store location for each product demo. Since stores operate in many different ways, I may communicate directly with the store manager, I may communicate through an agent representing the store, or I may do both. txtSchedules lets me communicate using email or text messaging through the system, and lets me keep notes about every phone contact I have while setting up potential demos. Since txtSchedules is also a mobile site, I can do most of the things I need to do using my smartphone. When store locations are represented by an agent, the agency also can benefit by using txtSchedules.
Okay, you can see this is where it started to get interesting. So we had this campaign for my guacamole, and I hired 5 independent brand marketing companies to run these events. Now, the last person that you saw is the independent brand marketing, and they're responsible for a lot of things. Originally, txtSchedules was designed for them because they're the ones who do the bulk of the work, and they're the ones who have to coordinate so much. So what they have to do is they have to find a store, then they have to find a brand ambassador to work the store, then they have to make sure that everything got done correctly, and they have to report the data back to the demo marketing company. Now, if they don't do that, they don't get paid, because it's not like the demo marketing company, when they say, I want you to do 100 demos, they're going to go out and give them, $20,000. There are triggers that have to be done in order for them to get paid. And see, that's where Ethereum and that's where DeFi and that's where smart contracts come in. So there's a certain amount of data that needs to be provided back to the brand before the brand will pay for each of the individual events. So now when we look here, we have this demo marketing project and we have a bunch of events. So in this case, there may be 100 events that need to be tracked. For each of them, they need to find a store. Now in some cases, they deal directly with the store manager. And in other cases, they deal with an agency that represents a group of stores. Now, that might be a corporate office. If you're working with a grocery store chain, a lot of times they don't want you calling the managers yourself. They want you to work through either the agency or the corporate office. And then once you do that, then you go on to hire the brand ambassador. So the next person that we're going to talk about is the agency, because grocery store demos and txtSchedules also works really well for the agency.
As the agent representing a portfolio of stores, it's my responsibility to make sure my stores host the right number of product demos and that they are the right product demos at each store and in each department. txtSchedules lets me keep track of the events that are scheduled at each store and in each department. txtSchedules also lets me see what opportunities there are for future events from the management companies wanting to host events in my stores. txtSchedules lets me be very flexible in the way I run my operation. I can use txtSchedules to maintain a contact list of store managers and department managers and let the marketing companies communicate with the store directly, or I can be involved in the entire scheduling process and manage the communications and scheduling myself. The txtSchedules dashboard lets me view events in my stores, see invitations and opportunities available for each store, and communicate effectively with marketing companies and the store managers.
So one of the things that makes txtSchedules so important for being able to manage these demos is the way the money moves. So what you just saw was an agent who represented a group of stores. Now, a lot of times they expect a cut. So we might be paying, so there might be $200 for the demo, and then we're going to have to give $20 to the agency that represents the store, or possibly we have to give there's a fee for the store itself. Usually if there's an agency, they're taking the fee, and then there isn't a store fee. But in the next step, we're talking about the store manager. Now, txtSchedules and grocery store demos is really important for the store managers, because a lot of times the person shows up to do the demo and the store manager doesn't know about it. So the store manager has a mobile app, they have email, they get text messages, they're reminded constantly that somebody is coming to do the demo. So it's really important that this whole process work together in order for the demos to go off without it.
As a store manager, my store wants to host product demos in my department. Scheduling, coordinating, and being ready for the product demo is just one part of my busy schedule. With txtSchedules, I never need to log into a computer, but I can still use the system, coordinate event scheduling with the store's agency and the marketing companies that want to provide demos in my department. I receive invitations and communications using email and text messaging. And all I do is click a link on the message and txtSchedules brings me exactly where I need to be. I use txtSchedules on my phone to see available demos, see the status of upcoming events, and communicate with everyone else involved.
Once I've worked with the store's agency and the store manager to determine a date and time for an event, I use txtSchedules to create the event and hire an independent brand ambassador to work the event. Within txtSchedules, I can maintain a list of my favorite brand ambassadors and invite them to my events directly. I can also post the opportunity to all brand ambassadors that either use the txtSchedules mobile app or subscribe to the txtSchedules emails and text message alerts.
Okay, so now it's a good time to talk about the smart contracts that have been executed and the gas fees that have been paid. So when the demo marketing when the brand starts by creating a campaign, they're going to create this container for this whole thing, and that requires a gas fee. So as soon as that gas fee is paid in the txtSchedules token, that will go to the pool, which is then divided up among the stakeholders. So when we go back to how you earn additional txtSchedule coin through proof of stake, the first step is when the brand creates the campaign. Then when the brand creates each of the projects, that's executing another smart contract, which is the project smart contract. So again, there's another point at which gas fees are earned. Now the gas fees, because this whole thing is really done in US dollars or whatever the local currency is, the gas fees are going to be paid in a token that is a stable coin token or stable token to let's say the US dollar, because we can't be asking a brand like Kraft or a brand marketing company to pay whatever the going rate is for the token. So the gas fees are going to be paid in a stable coin and then converted over to the txtSchedules token. So at first we create it when the campaign is created, then when the projects are submitted to the event marketing companies, then there's gas fees paid then. And then the third time the gas fee is after what we just saw, which is the demo marketing company has found a store to host the event, and then they've got a store to host the event, and then they know the date and time. So that allows them to execute the event smart contract. Now the event smart contract will then define who is going to get paid the rest of the fees. So let's say we are earning $200 for operating this event as the demo marketing company. Well, now if we went through an agency, maybe there's $20 that's going to the agency, and maybe there's $10 that goes to the store, and then at that point we define that maybe $120 is going to the brand ambassador. So that smart contract then defines the rest of the financial transaction and what triggers need to happen in order for everybody to get paid. Now you probably noticed by now there's a lot of stuff that's actually being done outside of the application or outside of the DApp. And to do that, we developed our own framework, which is based on AngularJS, that we use to power our mobile app, to power our text scheduling, and to power the desktop app. So now at this point, we've earned gas fees at 3 different places, and now the next step is for the demo marketing company to find a brand ambassador.
Hi, as an independent brand ambassador, I'm the one who does the product demos in the store. I use txtSchedules on my phone or laptop to find and schedule events that I want to work. Since I'm independent, I can select the events I like, and I can do the kind of demos that I'm good at. Marketing companies use txtSchedules to invite me to work their events. txtSchedules lets me receive invitations using text messaging, email, and within the application, I can also search for postings from other marketing companies that have opportunities in my area. Once I find events I'm interested in, I can communicate with the marketing company using txtSchedules to ask questions and schedule the event.
Now that txtSchedules has helped me find the store locations for my events and find the brand ambassadors to staff them, txtSchedules helps me coordinate the events. Using txtSchedules either on my smartphone or on my computer, I can notify the distributor to make sure the product is properly stocked at the store for the event. Before the event, I can confirm event details with the store manager, the store agency, and brand ambassador. As the event gets closer, txtSchedules helps me communicate effectively using notifications and reminders.
When I arrive at the event, I use txtSchedules app with the GPS on my phone to clock in and out of the event. I can also take pictures of the event setup and submit receipts for any expenses I might have using the app. When the event is complete, I also use txtSchedules to record the statistics for the event, like the number of samples I handed out and the amount of product sold during the event.
Okay, so one of the things that's really key here is what happens with the brand ambassador and the mobile apps. So the grocery store demos and beverage demo mobile apps that are on Android and iPhone that we developed using our framework, that's what reports back everything that the event coordinator, the demo marketing company needs to do to submit to the brand in order to get paid. Now, prior to tech schedules and prior to grocery store demos and this project, it would take hours upon hours for the demo marketing company to pull together all the information that is necessary for them to get paid. Now, what happens with the brand ambassador using our mobile app is they answer all the questions. They take photos with it. There's certain photos that need to be submitted back to the brand to prove that it was done. There's a signature that the store manager has to do that shows that they actually showed up. We also use the GPS within the app to show what time they clocked in and what time they clocked out. And then once all that data is submitted through the app, it actually generates a really nice report that goes back to the brand that shows them everything about the demo. Now, one of the reasons that tech schedules and grocery store demos and beverage demos was becoming so popular was because of the time savings for everybody involved in the demo marketing process. So this is an application that's got a lot of use. There really isn't a lot of competition for this. Most of the competition is down at the brand ambassador level, and nobody really thinks about reporting statistics for the brand and for the demo marketing company. So everybody who's involved in this project gets the data that comes through the DApp and comes through the application. Now, one thing that's really important is why this is such a good thing for a DApp. So let's say I'm doing demos for mayonnaise. Okay, we've got Kraft mayonnaise. Well, let's say Hellmann's wants to do demos for their mayonnaise. Well, I can tell you that if you're doing a software as a service, companies that compete with each other don't want their data stored together on a platform. The worst thing in the world for Hellmann's would be for Kraft to get their demo statistics for how well they're selling and where they're pushing their marketing. So by doing this through a distributed application through the DApp, where their data is unlocked using their Ethereum address, this is all written using the W3.js library. We use some React.js. We post back through MetaMask. This allows the data to be stored separately in order for everything to run really well. So what I expect to see happen is the dramatic growth in the use of the app, stakeholders who are really interested in staking the app because it really is a good use case for Ethereum and for tokens, and then to see the price of the token increase because of all of that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the rest of the series of videos that shows you how this whole thing works together from the viewpoint of the people who actually use the application.
Ben.
Using tech schedules lets me coordinate a large number of events, hire the best brand ambassadors, standardize the data I capture, and do the best job possible for the brands I represent.
txtSchedules lets me better manage the product demos at the stores I represent, and it helps make sure we are hosting the best demos possible. By using txtSchedules, I can report important statistics to store management so they can see that they are getting the most out of the product demos at their stores.
txtSchedules lets me schedule and coordinate product demos easily without disrupting my busy schedule.
txtSchedules lets me find more product demos, find marketing companies to work with, makes my job easier, and helps me make more money.
txtSchedules lets me manage my campaigns and provides me with the data I need to get the best results from future marketing campaigns.
As you can see, txtSchedules provides something different for everyone who uses it. From the brand marketing executive coordinating a campaign with hundreds of demos across the country to the brand ambassador responsible for a single event, txtSchedules helps manage the process from start to finish. txtSchedules lets everyone operate independently, but also ties the entire process together like no other campaign management system. I hope you find txtSchedules to be the right solution to help you grow your business.